Welcome back to day 6 of our 30-day mindset shift challenge. Today we have a good one. Today our topic is watch how you talk to yourself. You cannot build a new life while constantly speaking from an old mindset. So let's get into it. Before we do, let me ask you a question. If somebody followed you around all day and talked to you the way you sometimes talk to yourself, would you keep them around? I can't do this. I'm always messing something up. I'll never get ahead. I'm too old. I'm too far behind. I'm just bad with money. We spend so much time worrying about what other people say about us that sometimes we don't pay attention to what we're saying to ourselves. Day 6 is about changing the conversation happening inside the car. Y'all know those conversations. Pay attention to your internal conversation. Your thoughts don't all deserve agreement. Just because a thought entered your mind doesn't mean become the truth, right? Just because you're thinking that doesn't mean that it's automatically fact. Stop turning temporary situations into permanent identities. There's a difference between saying, I made a bad financial decision and I'm terrible with money. One describes an event, the other creates an identity. Your language can keep you in park. Listen for phrases like, I can't, I'll never, that's just how I am, nothing ever works for me, I'm too far behind, people like me don't get opportunities like that. How often do we say things like that? People like me. What's people like you? Your language can keep you parked, okay? How many times have you talked to yourself out of something before anyone else even had the opportunity to tell you no? What is it that you've talked yourself out of? Right? It's one thing when someone else tells you no. But we don't want to ever tell ourselves no. You just have to tell me no. I'm not telling me no. Replace self-defeating language with responsible language. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect. So instead of saying, I can't afford it, try saying it's not a priority in my budget right now. What would I need to change to prepare for it? Or how I look at things a lot of times is, what's my return on investment? What's my ROI? So instead of saying I'm bad with money, try saying I'm learning how to manage my money differently. Instead of I'll never get out of debt, try saying this may take some time, but I can make decisions that reduce my debt one step at a time, one turn of the wheel at a time. Instead of saying I'm behind everybody else, try saying I'm responsible for my road, not somebody else's timeline. That distinction keeps the challenge motivational without turning affirmations into denial or reality. Or denial of reality. Sorry about that. Stop rehearsing your mistakes. Some of us aren't just looking in the rearview mirror anymore. We've pulled over, parked the car, climbed into the back seat, and started replaying everything that went wrong. You can learn from a mistake without making it your permanent address. So ask, what did it teach me? What needs to change? What's my next move? Then drive forward. Be careful what follows I am. I am. Statements are powerful because they often become statements about identity. I am irresponsible. I am a failure. I am broke. I am not smart enough. Challenge yourself. Your current position tells you where you are. It does not automatically tell you who you are. Speak to where you're going, but work from where you are. Don't just say, I'm going to be financially free. Ask yourself, what did financially discipline me today? Did I check my account? Did I make the payment? Did I avoid the unnecessary purchase? Did I save something? Did I learn something? Did I make the phone call? Did I complete the application? Your words should be followed by behavior. So you want to change your conversation. So now I want you to draw 2 columns for all my note takers. I want one side of the paper and then another side of the paper. So on this side of the paper, I want you to label it old conversation. On the other side, label it new conversation. Now, under the old conversation, I want you to put I can't and fill in that blank. And under the new conversation, put I can start by, right? So I can't, I can start by. I'm terrible at. I'm learning how to. I'll never. My next step toward it is. I'm too far behind in. My current position is, and my next move is. I'm choosing to practice this instead. Now I want you to circle one statement that you say to yourself frequently. Your assignment is to catch yourself every time you use that statement for the next 24 hours and intentionally replace it. Of course, we're going back to our PRND framework. P, of course, is prayed. What have I been saying about myself that doesn't agree with what I'm praying for? R, responded. Instead of emotionally reacting to every setback, pause and respond thoughtfully. And you can say everything that happens doesn't deserve an immediate emotional response. N, never cease. Don't allow negative self-talk after a setback to convince you to quit. A bad day isn't permission to abandon the destination. And then we have D, driving. Replace the thought and then take an action that supports the new conversation, because mindset without movement won't change the destination. What's something you've been saying about yourself for so long that you stopped questioning whether or not it's actually true? Are you describing your current situation or defining yourself by it? Would you allow somebody else to speak to you the way that you speak to yourself? Does your internal conversation sound like somebody who's preparing for where you say you want to go? Who's doing most of the talking inside your car? Your faith, your fear, your past, or your purpose? Our affirmation for today is, my current position does not define my identity. I will pray. I will pay attention to the words I speak over myself. I will stop turning temporary situations into permanent labels. I am learning. I am growing. I am becoming more disciplined and intentional with my decisions. When I make a mistake, I will learn from it, correct my course, and keep moving. I prayed. I will respond thoughtfully. I will never cease, and I will keep driving. Before you get in the car with somebody, you usually pay attention to who's driving. But here's what I want you to think about today. Who's been driving the conversation in your head? Fear? Your past? Somebody else's opinion? That mistake you made 5 years ago? Stop allowing an old voice to give direction to a new destination. Yesterday, we worked on our habits. Today, we're working on the conversation that's influencing those habits. Catch yourself today. When you hear I can't, ask what can I do? When you hear I'll never, ask what's the next step? When you hear I'm a failure, remind yourself I experienced something that didn't work. Now what did it teach me? You don't have to lie about where you are, but stop confusing your current position with your final destination. Change the conversation. Correct your course. Put it back in drive. Watch how you talk to yourself. Now get your shift together. Bye for now.